Students, welcome back to your science class. So, in the previous class, we had started with our chapter 12, that is our environment, and in this chapter, we were discussing about the natural resources, the need for natural resources, and why do we need to conserve the natural resources, right? And moving further, we had also discussed a little bit about what is the meaning of pollution and what is the meaning of pollutant. So we had discussed about it, and moving further, we also had a look in brief about the different types of pollution. Now today we are going to discuss more in detail about the first type of pollution, and that is your air pollution. So here you can see in this picture that air pollution is generally the pollution in the air, that is the chemicals and the dust particles and all other things that is released in the air, which causes some changes in the composition of our air. Okay, so we are going to discuss about it in details in today's class. So firstly, we are going to have a look at the definition of air pollution. What is the meaning of air pollution? You all are very much familiar with this term. Okay, so we are going to first have a look at it, that air pollution, it is the introduction of the chemicals, particulate matter, or biological materials that cause harm or discomfort to humans or other living organisms, or cause damage to the natural environment or build environment into the atmosphere. So basically, what is air pollution? It means that any kind of chemicals, or let's say the biological materials which causes harm or which causes some kind of discomfort to the human beings, okay, which is being released into the natural environment, especially the air, that is your air pollution. Okay, so anything that is released into the air which causes some kind of damage or some kind of discomfort to the human life or to the environment, that is basically your air pollution. So you can see here in the picture also different air pollution, different types of air pollution can be seen here, right? The smoke that is coming out from the factories, even from the even on the roads from the vehicles and all, which is causing some kind of change in the quality of the air. This is your air pollution. Now, as we had seen what is air pollution, we will now discuss about the causes of it. So what are the main factors, or what are the main things that are leading to air pollution? So firstly, there are some natural causes, okay, and there are some man-made causes. So majorly we will discuss about man-made causes because that is what is leading to the increased amount of air pollution. But there are also some sources which are natural, okay, which happens naturally, like the first one, dust. So dust, we cannot control it. Dust is there every, like, whenever we all are cleaning the houses also, our houses also, when we clean it, then some amount of dust particles are there, right? So this is there naturally. So that is one of the causes of air pollution. Other than that, we have smoke from wildfire. So if there is fire in the forest and all, the smoke, the gases that comes out, that gets mixed up with the air and causes some kind of discomfort to us. So we will face some kind of discomfort in breathing. The smoke that gets inside our lungs, the air that is filled with smoke, if it gets inside our lungs, then we start coughing, right? So this is also one of the causes of air pollution, and both of these, that is the dust and the smoke from the wildfire, these are your natural causes. Now talking about man-made causes, there are plenty of it. The first one being burning of fossil fuels, under which we have vehicles, road construction, building construction. So you can see that the consumption of fossil fuels when we are traveling from one place to another in the vehicle, so we are using petrol, we are using diesel, right? So this causes pollution of air, the smoke that comes out from the vehicles, okay, be it the car, be it your scooter or the motorcycle or even the bus set, right? So all this causes your air pollution. Construction of the road, when the road is constructed, you all might have seen about it that the road, when it is constructed, the tar and all that is being like used up. There is the machinery that is running continuously, which from where we can see black smoke coming out. So that is also causing air pollution. Other than that, building construction, so if you have seen big construction being done, okay, you might have seen that over there lots of dust particles are there, right? Along with that, you might have seen that the machineries that are being used will also create some amount of smoke and all, which will be released in the air, right? So this causes your air pollution. Other than that, we have got agricultural activities. Like agricultural activities in what sense we are talking? It is that uh, the agricultural activities includes the whenever the farmers finish reaping the harvest, okay. So in many cases we have seen, and even in the news we see that during the winter months in the state of Punjab and all, what do they do? The after they finish harvesting their crops, they happen to burn burn the remaining part of the plant, so that the uh, the fertility of the soil can be increased. So when this thing is done on a large scale, it creates lots of smoke which gets released into the atmosphere, and it is every year we see in the news that because of this burning of the remaining part of the plant or the crop, the air is very much polluted, and the people in Delhi can also feel the impact of that smoke, okay. So that is about agricultural activities. Other than that, we also have exhaust from factories and industries. So no doubt everybody is familiar with this, that the factories, the industries that run like 24/7, it is running, and the smoke that comes out from those factories, that is also causing a lot of air pollution, because it is on a large scale. The smoke that is coming out gets mixed with the air, and the air that and the quality of the air is going down over there. Bad smoke comes out, right? Even the waste products comes out, and also the liquid chemicals. So not just about the air pollution, it is when we are talking about factories and industries, it is also the solid waste or the liquid waste that is coming out. Then we have indoor air pollution. Like indoor air pollution, under this we have household cleaning products, painting supplies emit toxic chemicals, and also smoking. So inside our homes also, we are also causing air pollution. Like we are also some contributor towards air pollution. How? One is the household cleaning products. So there are many products which we use in uh, the the products that is used for cleaning the household things, even the sprays that we use, room fresheners and all that we are using, over there also we have the chemicals, and those chemicals are released in the air only. That is how the house remains fresh, right? So these chemicals are somehow being added up in the air, and we are contributing towards air pollution. Other than that, we have got painting supplies. We paint the house, right? So in those painting like that paint supply also, in the paints also, there are some amount of chemicals which is being released in the air. Along with that, smoking. So in a number of household, there are people who do smoke, okay. So we cannot do away with this fact. This is the truth, right? So smoking is also one of the like cause, you can say, okay, that leads to air pollution, because you know when when the people smoke, then the smoke is released to the air, so that is also causing your air pollution. So these are some of the causes of air pollution. Some are man-made and some are natural causes. Mainly there are like major part is the man-made causes. Now we will have a look at the natural air pollution little bit in detail. Okay, how the air pollution can take place naturally. Many natural sources of air pollution are there, like the forest fires, sea salt, pollen grains, volcanoes, turbines, and also the ozone from electrical storms. Now let's see about them. How forest fires start. Okay, the first thing is how forest fire is like taking place. All the fires, you know that there is fire triangle, the fuel, the oxygen, and a heat source to start. So fire can take place only in such a condition if there is a fuel, if there is surplus amount of oxygen, and if there is a heat source. Okay, source of heat should be there so that the fire can start. Okay, so the same thing is applicable for the forest fires too. It is not just in our household that we need this to burn the fire, but it is true for your forest fires too. Okay, and there are many causes of it. Natural causes, volcanic eruptions. So in the volcanic eruptions we can see that heat is being provided. Okay, spontaneous fires can take place all of a sudden. Also it can take place if the heat energy is there, if the oxygen is there, and if the fuel is there. Other than that, we have dry lightning storms. So because of storms and the lightning will provide you a sort of heat source. So because of that also, and oxygen is already there in the environment. Okay, and the fuel, the thing which will burn, it is the fuel, right? So in this way the forest fires can start. And under natural causes we have the last one as rockfall sparks. So these are some of the natural causes of forest fires. And the man-made causes include cigarette stubs. So once the person, if a person is smoking a cigarette, and like he just after finishing his cigarette, if he just drops the cigarette, then the flame is still there, the heat source is still there. Okay, from there also the forest fire can catch if they are throwing it in the forest area, and if there is a fuel, that is maybe a dry leaf or anything as such is there available, then the forest fire can take place. Next one is the campfires or the bonfires. So if people are going for camping and all, okay, and they have a bonfire and they leave it just like that, so in that case also the forest fire can occur. Other than that, we have equipment related fires. Okay, which means that the people, like there are people who are going to visit the forest, who like for some purpose. Okay, so in that case also it can, like it may so happen that the things that they have carried, so there are some equipment failure, like let's say they have gone in a gone with the help of a jeep. Okay, and there is some mechanical disorder in that jeep and the fire gets started there. From that also there can be a forest fire. Other than that, we have arson for land clearing and global warming. So these are the man-made causes of forest fires. You can see here the picture of a forest fire which destroys the forest in a great extent. Okay, forest fire, it will release lot of smoke, okay, which is considered as a major cause of air pollution. So forest fire is one of the main causes of your air pollution, because when the forest fire takes place, you know that like the forest are very like occupying a large amount of land area, and the trees and the plants are there in huge quantity, right? So once a tree catches fire, it takes no time to like spread. That is why we call it as wildfire also, right? So once this happens, like once the forest fire takes place, so the amount of smoke that is coming out from it is very very like in a large extent. So that results in air pollution, and it is considered as one of the major cause of air pollution. Other than the forest fire, we have the sea salt. Okay, that is also another source of air pollution. Now how the air sea salt is acting as a cause of air pollution is that the sea salt, it acts as like since uh, the uh, it is acting as a particulate matter, as we were like talking in the beginning only when we were discussing about air pollution, when we were discussing about the definition of air pollution, that air pollution means anything that is added in the added up in the environment, right, that disturbs the human like disturbs the human health, or it is causing damage to some extent. And that anything can be a particulate matter also, any small particles also, anything, and even the dust particles and all. So sea salt is also a kind of a you can say equivalent to a dust particle. Okay, so when this also enters the air, it leads to air pollution. The next we have is your pollen. So pollen, you all know that pollen, it is the one that is responsible for formation of a new plant, right? The pollens are the ones which is being carried from one flower to another, and then there will be the mating, and then there will be a formation of a new like plant, you can say, be from the seeds and all. Okay, so this pollens also, it is also released, like you know that the pollens, when they are like they are getting transferred to other plants, at that time it is released in some amount in the air as well. So in the season when the pollens are being transferred, okay, so some amount of pollens are there in the air also, though the pollens are like bigger in sizes. But what happens is that some pollens will be able to break into smaller particles, and that will be able to enter our lungs. So that is how it disturbs our health. Okay, so that is why these pollens are also considered as one of the air pollutants, or it is also considered as the one responsible for air pollution, because the pollen particles, they can uh, break down into smaller particles, and thus causes problem to us once it enters the respiratory system. The next we have volcanic eruption. So in the previous chapter we had discussed about the natural calamities, and we had discussed about volcanic eruption or the volcanoes as well, right? And in that chapter you came to know that when the volcanic eruption takes place, then it is not just the lava that is coming out, but along with lava you had seen that a lot of ash, a lot of smoke is released in the environment. You can see from the picture also, so much of gases, so much of smoke is coming out, and this smoke is really dense and black, which is being released into the environment, which is being released into the air. This is causing your major air pollution. Okay, so this is also your source, or you can say that it is also a major cause of air pollution. Ozone from electrical storm also causes air pollution. So you might be wondering how, right? So when we talk about ozone, we just discuss, like all the time we are thinking that ozone is very good for us. Yes, it is true that it is good for us. It is keeping us safe from the ultraviolet rays, but there is a thing about ozone, that the ozone that we are talking about, which is good for us, is present in the stratosphere. Okay, when we talk about ozone, ozone are three uh, oxygen atoms linking like together forming O3, that is ozone. Okay, this is present in your stratosphere. Now what happens is that there is a bad ozone also, which is formed in the lower part, or the, you can say, the ground level, okay, which is usually in the lower part where the lightning and all is taking place. So what is happening here is that during lightning, the nitric oxides are being formed, and when these nitric oxides are formed, the ozone is getting formed in the lower part, that is the ground level also, which is actually responsible for your smog formation, smog, smog formation, which we talked about also in the previous classes, that there is smog formation which is like a the fog type only. Okay, smoke and fog is getting mixed up, and then together we call it smog, smog, smog. We talked about it, right? We discussed. So this smog is very much problematic because the visibility is very less. We cannot see properly on the roads. There will be lots of accidents, and also it is very difficult to breathe in the air in such a condition, and this causes lots of problem, especially traffic problems are there in huge amount. So your ozone from the electrical storm causes air pollution. This means that only that whenever there is lightning, okay, whenever there is electrical storm, at that time ozone is being formed in the ground level, you can say, or you can say rather that smog is being formed as a result of the ozone being formed. So this is causing a lot of problem, okay, not just in terms of air pollution, also in terms of like visibility. Okay, the vehicles are not able to run properly on the road. So these are all the major causes of air pollution and how the air pollution is being caused. Okay, so what is air pollution, everything has been discussed here in today's class. In the next class we are going to discuss about another type of pollution. So today we are going to end our class here. Thank you, children.